Alright, so here we have at the quad, we have Julie, John Klaus, Ryan, and John Hobbs in this boat. So let's start out. First thing I want us to notice is John Klaus has a really good early roll-up, and he is very consistent about it. So we can see here, right, he's about half slide, already getting past half slide, but he's already started his roll-up. Nice and early, getting in to the water, nice and clean. Everybody else really needs to work on this roll-up. We can see there, he's almost already squared, and no one else in the boat has started their roll-up yet. Look at this, square blades. He's already at the top of the catch, ready for his catch. Julie has started her feathering. She's almost ready. You can see my bow pair, still nothing. And look at how far up the slide you guys are. So that means that you're going to feather it quickly, and you're probably going to miss a good amount of water because you're not prepared and ready for the catch. I also want us to look at where we finish into our body, right? We tend, when we're rowing in the quad for some reason, we don't do a very good job of coming out with our blades square. We're almost always feathering in the water at the finish. And we can also see that our finish timing is off from each other, right? We're not coming out of the water together, and we're also not going into the water together. And again, it's just because of that late roll up. We're not getting prepped at the same time, so we can't catch at the same time. So it's going to come forward again. So Ryan, I know I talked to you about this, but I think it's a different thing to see it. John, you too, here, Hobbs. The really big C in the back, right? John Klaus is not as bad, right? And Julie is not as bad with that C in her back. She still has a little bit of a C, but it's not as dramatic as this, right? So really, really try to keep a better eye on sitting tall at the catch, really getting more distance right here between your armpits and your shoulders, right? So you can see here John has a pretty good distance between his armpit and his shoulder, and he's sitting up a little bit taller than everybody else is. And that's just that, really kind of kicking your butt out just a little bit too, right? And then really like using your ab muscles to help push your body up and keep your upper body from flailing out like that. All you're going to do with a big C in your back like that is you're going to get a lot of lower back pain. I'd be pretty amazed if you don't have it already, Ryan, you especially, from pulling like that. You're putting too much weight on those lower vertebrae. Julie, we can see here, really good, nice, strong back, sitting nice and tall there, coming through to the finish, right? And again, dropping the hands down a little bit more at the finish, right? We're all kind of pulling into our belly a little bit more than we should. We should probably be finishing a little bit higher and then dropping the hands down. So we'll let it play out regular. You can see that there's not a lot of handle height adjustment happening there in the belly, right? And that's, our blades are like really close to the water the entire time, which means that we're making adjustments for that feather at the top of the catch, right? Because if you were to feather here, there's no way that probably nobody here, right, would be able to actually feather their blade here and clear the water. And that's the point of the drop down of the hands, is you want to try to make enough room so that you could square your blade up anywhere in the stroke and still have space, right? But instead we have to dip our hands down at the top of the catch in order to have room to do the feathering. So really want to think about trying to get those blades off the water. Let's see how our drives are looking, right? Drives here looking pretty good, right? Everyone's still pulling with their legs. Julie, you might be opening your back up just a little bit early, but I think that that's because this stroke you missed water in the beginning, so you didn't quite connect with your legs until halfway through the stroke. So just keep an eye on that catch timing, because it really means that you lose a lot of the efficiency of your legs. Another thing I want quad rowers to think about is their oar height in the water. So we can see here how buried the oars are in the water, and they really don't need to be that buried. We tend to put a lot more emphasis than we should on burying those oars in the water instead of letting the oars sit where they want to naturally. So you can see here, Ryan, you especially on this one, look at this, like your whole entire shaft is in the water, right? And really, you just want it to be into the water right past that little piece of tape. Oh, let's see. So let's see here. There, we could kind of see the tape. See how deep you guys are going in the water, right? Our hands are like way up here. Really, they should maybe be down here, a little bit lower. And it just helps you get a more efficient drive. It helps your oar do better work once it's in the water, right? So everybody pulling in a little too deep. Other than that, the progression of legs, body, arms looks good. We should be doing a little more shooting through with the shoulders. We're going to work on a couple of drills to do that, to kind of transition that energy from the legs into the shoulders just a little bit more. It looks like we lose connection and power as we go to the body. I'm going to go ahead and let this roll for a little while and let you guys watch some of the things that I've been talking about. I think we might be moving to a head-on shot, which will be good because I want to see those oar heights in the water. Now again, we're not able to see the tape very well because of where the sun is, but Ryan Adler, look at that oar. You are like, I'm going to paddle this boat all by myself, right? And I'm going to dig that oar way into the water, right? Make sure that we're not doing that. Again, you want to just stay on the surface of the oar, of the water. John Klaus probably has a better handle on this in this boat, and John Hobbs. You guys look pretty good there with those oar heights in the water, right? Let's look at that exit. Exit timing together is not bad, but again, we're all washing out, right? Nobody's coming out clean and square out of the finish. You guys are all washing into the feather, which is not what we want to do, right? Because we're kind of washing out and then bam, we're right on top of the water, instead of clearing the water and having a good set right from the finish by coming out square together and then going towards the catch. And again, just to look at our roll-up timing, when are we rolling up together? Again, John Klaus has already started. Nobody else has, right? And then really reaching back. And look at that. So look at this, how much water we're missing and how much we're hacking into the water at the catch, right? So keep an eye on these things as you're rowing. Are you feeling that initial third of your catch? There we go. And then again, the oar depth in the water, coming out, kind of feathering in the water, right? That catch was pretty darn good. Not too shabby. So again, these are just little things that we all can work on to make ourselves better. And I don't want to pick out and pull apart everybody and every little thing that they're doing. I want to try to give you just a couple of things to work on so that you can work on and kind of perfect that aspect, and then we can move on and get into something else, maybe something a little smaller that's going to make us better rowers. All right, I think that's the last one of the series, and I am done. I hope you all enjoyed.